The crystal champagne flute shattered against marble, and Sophia knew she was dead. Not figuratively, not metaphorically, actually genuinely dead, because the crimson wine now soaking into the pristine white shirt of Lucian Stone, CEO of Stone Enterprises, and one of the most powerful vampire lords in North America, meant her life was effectively over. The ballroom fell silent. 200 immortal eyes turned toward her like predators scenting blood. Sophia's hands trembled as she clutched the empty tray. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't see you. Leave us. Lucian's voice cut through the air like a blade, cold and absolute. The other servers scattered like startled birds. Sophia remained frozen, her heart hammering against her ribs. She'd been working 3 jobs just to keep her studio apartment in Seattle, and this catering gig at the Emerald Tower was supposed to be easy money. Serve drinks to rich vampires at their exclusive gala, keep your head down, collect your paycheck. Nobody mentioned that spilling wine on one of them was a death sentence. Lucian Stone stood motionless, his pale gray eyes locked on her face. He was breathtaking in the way a winter storm was breathtaking, beautiful and lethal. His dark hair was swept back, revealing sharp cheekbones and a jawline that could cut glass. The wine stained his shirt crimson, spreading across his chest like a wound. "Look at me," he commanded. Sophia forced herself to meet his gaze. His eyes widened fractionally, and something flickered across his face. Shock? Recognition? Before she could process it, he grabbed her wrist. Pain exploded through her arm where his fingers touched bare skin. She cried out, trying to pull away, but his grip was iron. Golden light erupted between them, blazing so bright she had to close her eyes. Heat seared her wrist, and she heard gasps echo through the ballroom. When the light faded, Sophia looked down and felt her knees weaken. An intricate, golden mark wrapped around her wrist, delicate lines forming an ancient symbol that seemed to pulse with its own light. It was beautiful and terrifying, etched into her skin like a tattoo but glowing as if lit from within. Lucian released her and stumbled back, staring at his own wrist where an identical mark blazed against his pale skin. "Impossible," someone whispered. "A soul mark," another voice breathed. "The bond hasn't manifested in 3 centuries." Sophia's vision swam. What is this?" Lucian's expression hardened into a mask of controlled fury. Not at her, she realized at the situation. "Get her out of here, now." 2 vampires in dark suits materialized beside her. Before Sophia could protest, they were escorting her through the ballroom toward a private elevator. She caught fragments of heated whispers as they passed. "Stone's human is marked. The council will never allow. She's dead within the week." The elevator doors closed, and one of the vampires, tall, with silver threading his dark hair, spoke quietly. "Miss, I'm Marcus Hale, head of Mr. Stone's security. You're in considerable danger." "Danger?" Sophia's voice cracked. "What the hell just happened?" "You've been soul-marked," Marcus said as the elevator descended. "It's an ancient vampire bond, extremely rare. It means your life force is now tied to Mr. Stone's. You're his mate, by blood and magic." The elevator opened into an underground garage where a black SUV waited, engine running. They guided her inside. "I don't understand," Sophia said, feeling panic rising in her chest. "I was just serving drinks. I don't even know him." "The bond doesn't require knowledge," Marcus explained as the SUV pulled out onto Seattle's rain-slicked streets. "It recognizes compatible souls. But Miss Sophia, is it? You need to understand what this means. There are vampire houses that will kill to break this bond. Others will try to use you as leverage against Mr. Stone. You're the most valuable and vulnerable human in this city right now." Sophia pressed against the window, watching the city lights blur past. Her wrist still tingled where the mark glowed faintly beneath her skin. "So what happens now?" "Now you go into protective custody until the council decides what to do with you." "Decides what to do with me?" Sophia whirled to face him. "I'm not property." Marcus's expression was sympathetic but firm. "In vampire law, you are now." "I'm sorry." Stone Manor rose from the Seattle hills like something out of a Gothic nightmare, all dark stone, towering spires, and windows that reflected the night like watching eyes. The SUV passed through iron gates that closed behind them with ominous finality. Sophia was taken through marble halls lit by crystal chandeliers, up a grand staircase, and into a suite that was larger than her entire apartment. The bedroom alone could have held a small dance party, with a 4-poster bed draped in midnight blue silk, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, and furniture that probably cost more than she'd earn in a lifetime. "You'll remain here," Marcus said. "Mr. Stone will explain everything when he returns from the council meeting." "I'm a prisoner," Sophia said flatly. "You're protected." Marcus paused at the door. "There's a difference. Don't try to leave, Sophia. The guards have orders to keep you safe, by force if necessary." The door closed. Sophia heard the soft click of a lock. She sank onto the bed, staring at the mark on her wrist. This morning she'd been worried about making rent. Now she was trapped in a vampire lord's mansion, magically bound to a man she'd known for all of 5 minutes, and apparently marked for death by multiple supernatural factions. Her phone buzzed. Sophia pulled it from her pocket. Dozens of missed calls from Tyler, her ex-boyfriend. She'd blocked him months ago after their toxic relationship finally imploded, but he'd found ways to keep harassing her. The phone buzzed again. Against her better judgment, she answered. "Sophia, Jesus Christ, where are you?" Tyler's voice was frantic. "I heard what happened at the Emerald Tower. Everyone's talking about it. How do you know about that? Word travels fast when a human gets soul-marked by Lucian Stone. Baby, you need to get out of there. Those vampires, they're going to kill you." Sophia's throat tightened. "I can't leave. They won't let me. Then I'll come get you. Tell me where you are." "No, Tyler. I still care about you, Soph. Let me help." Before she could respond, the phone was plucked from her hand. Sophia spun to find Lucian Stone standing behind her, his presence so sudden and silent she gasped. He examined the phone's screen, then crushed it in his fist like paper. Pieces clattered to the marble floor. "Hey!" Sophia protested. "That's your ex-boyfriend," Lucian said coldly, "is currently negotiating with 3 different vampire houses to sell you to the highest bidder. Did you really think his concern was genuine?" The words hit like a physical blow. Sophia wanted to argue, but something in Lucian's eyes told her he wasn't lying. He'd changed from the wine-stained shirt into a black suit that made him look even more dangerous. Up close, Sophia could see faint scars on his neck, old wounds that even vampire healing hadn't completely erased. "Sit," he commanded, gesturing to a chair by the fireplace. "I'm not a dog." His eyes flashed. "Sit, Sophia, or I'll make you sit." Something in his tone suggested he absolutely would. Sophia sat. Lucian poured 2 glasses of something amber from a crystal decanter and handed her one. She didn't drink it. "You have questions," he said. "Ask them. What is this bond? Why me?" The soul mark is ancient magic, older than modern vampire houses. It recognizes compatible souls, 2 beings whose life forces complement each other perfectly. When a vampire and their marked mate exchange blood and complete the claiming ritual, the bond becomes permanent. The vampire gains strength, the human gains extended life and protection. "And if we don't complete it?" Lucian's jaw tightened. "We both die. The incomplete bond will consume us within weeks, maybe days." Sophia felt ice slide down her spine. "So I have to let you claim me?" "Not yet. The Vampire Council is debating whether to allow the bond or dissolve it forcibly." "Dissolve it how?" "By killing you," he said it matter-of-factly, as if discussing the weather. "They view humans as beneath us. A soul mark between species threatens centuries of tradition and power structures. Some council members would rather see you dead than accept what you represent." Sophia set down the untouched glass with shaking hands. "And what do you want?" For the first time, something shifted in Lucian's cold mask. He looked at the glowing mark on his own wrist, then at her. "I want to understand why, after 800 years of existence, the bond chose you. A human waitress with no knowledge of our world, no training, no allies. It makes no sense." "Thanks," Sophia said bitterly. "That's really flattering." "I'm not trying to flatter you. I'm trying to keep you alive." Lucian moved to the window, his silhouette dark against the city lights. "Lady Morgana leads the faction that wants you eliminated. Councillor Graves might support the bond if it serves his political interests. The others will follow power and money. So my life depends on vampire politics." "Yes." Sophia stood, anger overriding fear. "Then let me go. Break this bond. Kill me. Whatever, I didn't ask for this. I was just trying to earn enough money to survive, and now I'm trapped in some immortal nightmare." Lucian turned, and the intensity in his gray eyes pinned her in place. "You think I want this? I've spent centuries avoiding emotional attachments, building an empire that requires absolute control. This bond threatens everything I've created. Then we agree. End it." He crossed the room in a blur of supernatural speed, stopping inches from her. Sophia's breath caught. This close, she could see flecks of silver in his irises, could feel the cold radiating from his skin. "I can't," he said quietly. "The bond won't let me. Every instinct I have screams to protect you, to claim you, to kill anyone who threatens you. Do you understand? I've executed men for less than spilling wine on me, but when you did it, all I felt was gratitude that fate had finally given me what I didn't know I was missing." Sophia's heart hammered. "You don't even know me. The bond knows you, and whether either of us likes it, we're connected now." He stepped back, the cold mask sliding back into place. "The council meets tomorrow night. Until then, you stay here. Don't try to leave, don't contact anyone outside, and don't trust anyone who isn't me or Marcus. I don't trust you either." A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "Smart girl." He left, the door locking behind him. Sophia stood in the opulent prison, staring at the golden mark on her wrist that pulsed in time with her racing heart. Outside, rain began to fall against the windows like tears. The next evening, Sophia was woken by Marcus entering with clothing elegant but practical. Black pants, a deep crimson blouse, and boots that looked expensive. "The council meeting is in 2 hours, he said. "Mr. Stone wants you presentable." "Does he now?" Sophia took the clothes anyway. "What happens at this meeting? They'll debate your fate. Be prepared for hostility. Many council members view humans as livestock." Once dressed, Sophia was escorted down through the manor's twisting halls to a ballroom that had been converted into something resembling a courtroom. Tiered seating rose on 3 sides, filled with vampires in formal attire, their eyes tracking her every movement. At the room's center stood a raised platform where Lucian waited, his expression carved from ice. Sophia was positioned beside him. The mark on her wrist burned, and she noticed Lucian's hand twitch toward his own mark before he caught himself. A woman entered tall, beautiful in the way predators were beautiful, with platinum blonde hair and eyes like frozen lakes. Lady Morgana. She took her seat at the head of the council with the air of someone accustomed to absolute authority. "Lucian Stone," she began, her voice carrying effortlessly through the chamber. "You stand before this council accused of forming a soul-mark bond with a human, thereby violating the sanctity of vampire purity laws. How do you plead?" "I plead nothing," Lucian said coldly. "The bond was not chosen. It manifested. Yet you refuse to dissolve it. Dissolving it requires her death. I won't murder my mate to satisfy your prejudice." Murmurs rippled through the council. A man with silver-streaked hair, Councillor Graves, leaned forward. "The bond threatens our social order. If vampires begin forming soul marks with humans, it undermines centuries of hierarchy." "Perhaps your hierarchy needs undermining," Lucian shot back. Lady Morgana's smile was glacial, bold words from someone whose power depends on this council's support. "Stone Enterprises operates under our charter. We could revoke it." "You could try." The threat hung in the air. Sophia realized she was watching power plays between immortals who'd perfected political warfare over centuries. "There is a solution," Councillor Graves said slowly. "Complete the claiming ritual. If this human survives the transformation, it proves the bond's legitimacy. If she dies, the problem resolves itself." "The ritual has a 60% human mortality rate," Lucian said sharply. "Then she'd better be strong." Lady Morgana's eyes glittered. "I propose we put it to a vote. All in favor of requiring the claiming ritual within 3 days?" Hands rose around the chamber. Sophia counted more. Then 2/3 of the council supported it. "Motion passes," Morgana announced. 3 days, Lucian. Claim her or watch her die from bond degradation. Either way, this matter will be resolved." Back at the manor, Sophia rounded on Lucian. "A 60% mortality rate? The claiming ritual is dangerous," he admitted, pacing the study like a caged predator. "It requires you to drink my blood while I complete the soulmark bond. Your body will either adapt or reject the transformation. If it rejects it, I die." "Yes." Sophia sank into a chair. "And if I don't do it, we both die from the incomplete bond." Yes, great options. She laughed bitterly. 3 days to decide if I want to become a vampire's claimed mate or just die. Lucian knelt before her, his cold hands taking hers. The touch sent electricity through the bond. I will do everything in my power to ensure you survive. The ritual is dangerous, but you're stronger than you look. You don't know that. I know you've worked 3 jobs to survive in this city. I know you've escaped an abusive relationship. I know you didn't flinch when surrounded by vampires who wanted you dead. His gray eyes held hers. You're a survivor, Sophia. Prove it one more time. Before she could respond, an explosion rocked the manor. Lucian was on his feet instantly, his entire demeanor shifting from concerned to lethal. Stay here, he ordered, then vanished in a blur. Sophia heard shouts, crashes, and sounds of fighting. She looked around frantically. The study had windows overlooking the grounds. Outside, she saw figures in black tactical gear breaching the estate's perimeter, vampires and humans, working together. The door burst open. Not Marcus or Lucian, a stranger, human, with a gun. Sophia Martinez, the man said. You're coming with us. The hell I am. She grabbed a letter opener from the desk and threw it. Her aim was terrible, it missed by a foot. The man laughed and advanced. Then, Tyler stepped into the room behind him. Sorry, Soph, her ex-boyfriend said, not looking sorry at all. Nothing personal, but Lady Morgana's paying a fortune for you, and I need the money. Betrayal burned in her chest. You bastard. Save the drama. You're coming quietly, or we trank you and drag you out. Tyler nodded to the armed man, who raised his gun. A shadow moved. Lucian materialized behind Tyler and snapped his neck with casual efficiency. The body dropped like a puppet with cut strings. The armed man fired. Lucian moved faster than Sophia's eyes could track, disarming him and driving him through the window in a shower of glass. More attackers poured in. Lucian fought like something out of a nightmare, inhumanly fast, brutally efficient, leaving broken bodies in his wake. Blood sprayed across expensive furniture. Sophia backed against the wall, her heart in her throat. But there were too many. A vampire in tactical gear got past Lucian's guard and lunged for Sophia. Without thinking, she grabbed a fireplace poker and swung. The vampire caught it, grinning, then screamed as the iron burned his flesh. He released her, stumbling back. Lucian used the distraction to rip out the vampire's throat. The attack ended as quickly as it began. Bodies littered the study. Lucian stood among the carnage, blood soaking his clothes, his eyes blazing with cold fury. Are you hurt? He demanded, checking her over with hands that shook slightly. I'm fine. Tyler is dead, as he should be. Lucian's jaw clenched. This was Lady Morgana's doing. She's trying to eliminate you before the claiming ritual. Marcus appeared in the doorway, also blood spattered. The perimeter is secure. We lost 3 guards. Increase security. I want this manor locked down until the ritual. Lucian turned to Sophia. You're not leaving my sight until this is over. Sophia nodded, too shaken to argue. She'd just watched Tyler die, watched Lucian kill with ruthless efficiency, and nearly died herself. The soul mark on her wrist pulsed, warm and insistent. 3 days. She had 3 days to decide if she wanted to survive this nightmare. The next 2 days blurred together. Lucian explained the claiming ritual in detail. She would drink his blood. He would complete the soul mark bond by reciting ancient words while their marks connected, and her body would either accept the transformation or destroy itself trying. Sophia spent hours in the manor's library, researching vampire bonds. Most texts were centuries old, written in languages she couldn't read, but Marcus helped translate. Every account said the same thing. Soul marks were sacred, powerful, and often fatal to humans. She also learned more about Lucian. 800 years old, turned during the Dark Ages, built stone enterprises from nothing into a global empire. He was feared, respected, and utterly isolated. No friends, no family, no attachments, just power and control. Why did you let yourself become this? Sophia asked on the second night. They were in his study, preparing for the ritual tomorrow. I didn't let myself become anything. I survived. Lucian stared into the fireplace. When you've lived as long as I have, you learn that emotional attachments are weaknesses. People die, betray you, or become liabilities. It's easier to remain alone. Sounds lonely. It was. He looked at her, and something vulnerable flickered in his eyes. Until that mark appeared, I didn't realize how empty 8 centuries of existence could feel. Sophia's heart twisted. Lucian, don't, he stood abruptly. Don't pity me, and don't romanticize this bond. I'm not a good man, Sophia. I've killed thousands, destroyed lives without remorse, built my empire on blood and fear. The only reason I'm protecting you is because the bond compels me to. I don't believe that. You should. But when he looked at her, Sophia saw the truth. Beneath the cold mask, beneath 8 centuries of isolation, Lucian was terrified not of the ritual, but of losing her. The 3rd night arrived. The claiming ritual would take place in the manor's subterranean chamber, a room carved from black stone and lit by hundreds of candles. Ancient symbols covered the walls, and the air thrummed with old magic. Sophia wore a simple white dress. Lucian was in all black, his face an expressionless mask. Marcus and a handful of trusted guards stood watch. No council members. Lucian had made it clear this was private. Are you ready? Lucian asked quietly. Sophia took a shaky breath. As I'll ever be. They moved to the chamber's center, where a circle of silver had been inlaid into the stone. Lucian drew a knife and cut his palm, letting blood pool in his hand. Drink, he said, offering it to her. The bond will guide the transformation. Sophia hesitated. This was it, the point of no return. If she drank, she was committing to this bond, to Lucian, to a life she'd never imagined. But what choice did she have? Die from the incomplete bond, die from Lady Morgana's assassins, or take this chance and survive? She pressed her lips to his palm and drank. The blood tasted like copper and midnight, burning down her throat. Power exploded through her veins, setting every nerve on fire. Sophia gasped, nearly collapsing, but Lucian caught her. I've got you, he murmured, lowering them both to the floor within the silver circle. He pressed their wrists together, mark to mark. Golden light blazed, so bright Sophia had to close her eyes. She felt Lucian's presence in her mind, his memories, his emotions, centuries of loneliness and pain, and carefully controlled power. And beneath it all, something new. Hope. Lucian began speaking in a language Sophia didn't recognize, ancient words that resonated through the chamber. The marks on their wrists grew hotter, the light brighter, until Sophia felt like she was burning from the inside out. Pain lanced through her body. Every cell screamed as vampire blood fought with human biology. Sophia tried to pull away, but Lucian held her firm, still speaking those ancient words. Stay with me, he commanded, his voice cutting through the agony. Fight, Sophia. Don't you dare give up. She wanted to. God, she wanted to let go, to escape the pain. But something stubborn and fierce inside her refused to quit. She'd survived poverty, abuse, and being hunted by immortal predators. She'd be damned if she let vampire blood break her. Sophia gritted her teeth and held on. The pain reached a crescendo, then shattered. Light exploded through the chamber, knocking back the guards. When it faded, Sophia lay gasping on the stone floor, Lucian hovering over her with wide eyes. Sophia? She opened her eyes. The world looked different, sharper, clearer. She could hear Marcus's heartbeat across the room, could smell the candle wax and old stone, and Lucian's unique scent of winter and power. The mark on her wrist still glowed, but it felt complete now, no longer burning with unfulfilled need. I'm alive, she whispered, then started laughing. Holy shit, I'm alive. Lucian exhaled, something like relief washing over his face. You survived, the bond is complete. He helped her sit up. Sophia felt different, stronger, faster, her senses heightened but not quite vampire level. The transformation had worked, adapting her human body to survive the bond while keeping her fundamentally human. What happens now? She asked. Now we announce it to the council. You're officially my claimed mate. Under vampire law, that makes you untouchable. 1 week later, Stone Enterprises held a press conference that would change the vampire world forever. Lucian stood before cameras and journalists, both human and vampire, with Sophia at his side. The golden soul marks on their wrists were visible, undeniable. For centuries, Lucian began, his voice carrying absolute authority, Vampire society has operated under laws that view humans as inferior. Today, I'm announcing a new era for Stone Enterprises and any house that wishes to remain in our alliance." He glanced at Sophia, something warm flickering in his usually cold eyes. "The Soulmark bond chose a human as my mate, and in honoring that bond, I've learned what our kind has forgotten. Humanity isn't weakness, it's strength. It's resilience, adaptability, and the capacity for growth that we immortals have lost." Sophia stepped forward, her voice steady despite the dozens of cameras. "I didn't choose this bond, but I choose what to do with it. I choose to stand with Lucian in building a future where vampires and humans coexist as equals, not as predators and prey." Lucian continued. "Effective immediately, Stone Enterprises will implement policies integrating qualified humans into leadership positions. We'll establish protections for humans in vampire territories and push for council reforms. Any vampire house that opposes this vision will find themselves cut off from our resources, technology, and alliances." The room erupted, reporters shouting questions, vampires arguing, humans expressing shock and hope in equal measure. Lady Morgana stood in the back, her face a mask of cold fury. She'd lost this battle, but Sophia knew the war was far from over. Councillor Graves, however, looked thoughtful. Political winds were shifting, and he was clearly calculating which side to support. After the conference, Lucian and Sophia returned to the manor. The council had fractured, 3 members resigned, 2 were removed for supporting Morgana's assassination attempt, and the others were recalibrating their positions. 6 months later, change was slow but undeniable. Sophia stood on the manor's balcony, watching Seattle's lights twinkle in the darkness. The golden mark on her wrist had become a symbol. Dozens of vampire-human couples had come forward with their own bonds, emboldened by Lucian's stand. "Penny, for your thoughts?" Lucian appeared beside her, wrapping an arm around her waist. "Just thinking about how surreal this is. 6 months ago, I was serving drinks and dodging eviction notices. Now I'm helping reshape vampire society. And you're doing remarkably well." Lucian pressed a kiss to her temple. "The integration program has 15 human executives now. 3 more council members have agreed to support reforms. Even Graves is coming around. Morgana won't give up. No, but she's lost considerable power, and with our bond complete, her influence continues to wane." He turned Sophia to face him, gray eyes soft in a way she'd once thought impossible. "You changed everything, Sophia. You changed me." She smiled, reaching up to touch his face. "We changed each other. The council wants us to formalize the bond with a public ceremony, a vampire wedding, essentially. Is that what you want?" Lucian's expression turned serious. "I want whatever keeps you by my side. For the first time in 800 years, I have something worth protecting beyond power and territory. I have you." Sophia's heart swelled. "Then yes, let's give them a ceremony they'll never forget." He kissed her, deep and consuming, the bond humming with shared emotion between them. When they broke apart, both were breathless. "I love you," Lucian said quietly. "I don't say it easily, but it's true. Against all logic, against centuries of isolation, I love you." "I love you too," Sophia whispered. "My impossible eternal vampire." They stood together on the balcony, looking out over the city they were reshaping. The future was uncertain, opposition remained fierce, and challenges lay ahead. But the Soulmark bond glowed steady and true on their wrists. A promise made in blood and magic, a love born from accident but chosen with fierce determination. Sophia had spilled wine on a vampire lord and accidentally changed the world, and she wouldn't have it any other way.